Hey guys, so I'm back for part 2 of the Baddies Africa tea recap, and this part will focus on the Stunna versus Ivory fight, the Stunna versus Ahna fight, and then also the situation with DTB and Ivori versus Dolly, which ended up with Dolly stealing a chain, which she thought was diamonds, but was actually Pretty P's. Okay, so first we'll start with the Stunna and Ivory situation. I already talked about this a little bit when I did my reaction to the Baddies Africa cast video that y'all could go find in the Baddies Africa playlist. But basically, Stunna and Ivory had some beef over Stunna attempting to get Ivory on her show when she tried to do her own network. It didn't work out, and Stunna basically went online and went on a rant saying that Ivory was a bum, all she's good for is fighting, she's ugly, this, that, and the third, and basically that they would never be in the same room because Ivory would never make it to real reality TV. So when Ivory saw that Stunna was casted, she posted like, "Look at God, this girl said I was a bum, but now we're going to be in the same room, this, that, and the third." So we ended up seeing that Stunna Girl and Natalie flew together to ATL, and there was also a clip that came out of them in the airport where people felt like they could hear Stunna Girl saying that she was going to meet somebody in the parking lot, which made people feel like Natalie either knew that Stunna Girl had plans for Ivory or that Natalie was the one who set it up, because Ivory was questioning after her and Stunna Girl got into it, which we'll get to. She was questioning who gave out her hotel room or who gave out her hotel address. When Natalie was on the flight with Stunna Girl, she gonna post, "This was the best flight ever, the tea." Just making yourself look guilty, and now you saying that you wasn't a part of it and you didn't know nothing about the beef. Because she tried to say she didn't even know Stunna Girl and Ivory had beef. But y'all saw in the part 1 where Natalie was saying that she didn't set up Ivory and that she's tired of taking the blame for stuff and basically blaming it on Lemmy and Zeus, saying that they're the real culprits. So once Stunna Girl landed in ATL, she decided to pull up to the club where Ivory had posted that she was at. Ivory responded by saying that she didn't understand why Stunna Girl pulled up to that club because she had left an hour ago. But then Stunna Girl popped up to Ivory's hotel, and when Ivory went outside, she got jumped. Now, first she said it was 10 people. Later on, she said it was about 6 people, but she did stand on the fact that it was about 4 or 5 girls and 2 boys. And I will say that after the fight and after being allegedly jumped by so many people, including boys or men, Ivory definitely looked good, and she didn't look like she got jumped or beat up that bad or anything. Now, I definitely feel like Stunna Girl is wrong, and I feel like this definitely makes her look like a punk, because it's like, girl, if you really tough how you say you are, at the end of the day, you're not going to win every fight. And at the end of the day, I understand she would have been going into that fight knowing that she was going to lose. But sometimes if that's what it is, that's what it got to be. Like, if you're going to talk all that shit and then you want to stand on the fact that you're tough, sometimes you are going to have to go into a fight and say, "I'm going to do my best, but I'm probably going to lose. But at least I'm going to be respected. I'm not going to take no L publicly, so I'm going to have 5 people come with me and we just going to jump her because I know I can't take her." That means that anybody that you know you can't beat, you going to jump. You only giving one-on-ones to people that you think you could take.
I just beat her ass. Tell that bitch to go right now. Show her face. That bitch head is split open. On a dead homie, bitch. On my mama, this all her blood. That bitch Stunna Girl head split open to the roof. But I'm really too I beat that bitch with my phone. My mama beat that bitch.
But do I have a lot of sympathy for somebody like Ivori? No. So that's why I don't feel as bad. I like Ivori on Baddies, but at the end of the day, we know who Ivori really is from Now That's TV, throwing bodily fluids on Mel and everything else. So it's like, somebody like that is hard to feel bad for, because I've seen Ivori sneak people, randomly kick people in the face, throw pee on people, jump people, hold girls down while they're getting jumped, like all type of crazy stuff. But, you know, it is what it is. Stunna Girl is wrong at the end of the day. So Stunna Girl was claiming that Ivori was doing some police stuff. You know, she said, "It's the police shit for me." So Ivori started saying that Stunna Girl needed to show her face. It did take a while for Stunna Girl to show her face, so a lot of people felt like she probably was messed up. But Ivori was saying that Stunna Girl's head was split open and she had a gash and all of that stuff. So that's not something that would heal in 1 to 2 days. Ahna jumped in trolling Stunna Girl, saying this the quietest she had ever seen her. Ivori ate that. So then the next day, Stunna Girl posted this, and she was like, "I just woke up." Basically saying after they jumped Ivori, she went back to her hotel and slept peacefully. So she just woke up and she was like, "This is my face." If her head was split open and she had a gash, like they were saying, on her forehead, we would see it in this picture. 1 to 2 days is not going to heal that. Now, some people were saying, you know, she could have got it stitched up and then now she got on makeup and filters. So, you know, we really don't know, but it don't look like it's everything that they were saying it was. So once Stunna Girl got up and showed her face, she also posted Ivori's chain and wig that was taken and said that it was cheap. 50 inches to my ass, I'm a
trendsetter, left my own nigga cause my new nigga flip better.
And Stunna Girl said that they teamed up and thought that they were setting her up, but they got slimed out first. So I think she's saying that, I don't know if she's saying Zeus in general was trying to set her up, or if she's saying that all the people she had beef with was trying to set her up, like Ivori, Ahna, etc. Some people try to say that the video Stunna Girl was posting was old, but she basically proved that it wasn't because she was staying at a hotel, and you could see that the background of the bathroom is the same from the day after the fight with her and Ivory getting jumped, and then the day after when she was going to meet up with Ahna to do their sit down. Stunna Girl claimed that Ivori made a police report. You could pause to read everything she said, but that's the gist of this post. Ivori basically says she's never called police on anybody in her life. They ran in a hotel, so obviously the hotel called the police, but Ivori says she didn't want no parts and she didn't make no report. And Ivori also said that if her and her people ever catch Stunna alone, Stunna's gonna receive the same treatment that she did because she was by herself. And instead of Stunna giving her a head up and fighting her by herself, she had other people jump in and help her fight her battles. So when Tasiki saw what happened, she said, "Hope you okay. I don't mind flying out." And she also commented on Ivori post saying, "My twin, tell boss man stop playing and drop the bag." Basically saying, if Lemmy pay her, she'll come and help Ivori. We gonna get more into that on my part 3 or part 4 because Tasiki been doing a lot of talking and it's just like, girl, I don't know what's really true. Did you get fired? Do you want to be on Baddies? Do you not? Because it's getting confusing. But we'll get to that in the next video. And here's an alleged witness giving their perspective on what allegedly happened between Stunna and Ivori. Take it with a grain of salt because anybody could comment on a TikTok video and say that they work at this place. But if it's true, they said that this was at their job. The girl with the piercing in her face, which is Ivori, was beating the life out of the smaller girl, which is Stunna Girl, and she cracked her phone on the girl's forehead. They jumped her, but she was still winning. Now, that does match up with what Ivori said on her live because she said that she was cracking Stunna Girl in her head, and that's how her head allegedly got split open. So like I said, when Stunna Girl went to the sit down with Ahna, of course they ended up fighting. Ivori posted, "My B, Ahna reopened that gash," like I said. Ahna was saying Stunna Girl needs to post her forehead now, and she's not going to get on live or say nothing because her ego hurt. Now, once again, Stunna Girl did take a while to get on live or post her head. I think it was like the next day again, like 24 hours later. Meanwhile, Ahna posted herself immediately after the fight, and as you can see, she looks pretty normal. Ahna said they ran 4 rounds, no security, no hair pulling, but Stunna Girl was doing a bunch of hair pulling and still couldn't get Ahna on the floor. And she said Stunna Girl was allegedly crashing out after their fight, saying she want to jump Ahna and she want to catch Ahna, so Zeus made her move hotels. So Stunna Girl just said that Ahna was lying. She said just because somebody runs on the internet first and tells a story doesn't mean it's the truth. Y'all watched this B lie a million times. Wasn't I supposed to be in the hospital because the middle of my face was split in half when the most I ever got was a scratch? Everybody said I got that though. I'm done talking. This the same stuff this B was doing yesterday, trying to talk it out, then ran off set for an hour saying she don't want to fight and she not taking her rings off. Bye, you're delusional, scary, pimple face rat. And Stunna Girl said from day one, I wasn't scheduled to film with anybody else. B's painted that narrative themselves. I'm a celebrity guest appearance. I'm not cast. Y'all was excited thinking y'all could sit with me running y'all mouth too much, knowing how I get. But none of these imaginary meetings were in my contract. So basically in her contract, it was only set for her to sit down with Ahna. Ahna said that Stunna Girl left the building speechless, crashing out, leaking and all. They ran it 4 times because Stunna Girl kept wanting to fight. She said that Stunna Girl was fat and that she was trying to rush and pull hair, and Ahna said she was clean punching. And she said if you won, why you wanted to keep going, but after your head started leaking, you ain't want to go no more. You literally had nothing to say, didn't even want to talk. You literally walked off trying to hide from the camera. Stunna Girl came online later on basically saying she was confused as to what marks were supposed to be on her forehead and said this is her forehead, there's nothing there but a pimple.
So this little scratch in my head is what everybody is so hype about. And it's not even deep, y'all can see I'm scratching it. I'm gonna open up the hair around it so y'all can see it and nothing else. Nothing, but yeah.
She said Ahna was lying. She's disappointed in herself for even having beef with somebody that's scary. She started to feel like a bully and she's realizing that this is real life delusion with Ahna. She's not arguing no more and we gonna gag when we see it. She promised and she not taking no L's. And she said back to regular programming, like within 3 hours of touchdown, I got it popping. Had to show y'all how to do this. Y'all should thank me. This the most y'all been talked about in a long time. I came and turned y'all season up. So that was the end of Stunna Girl's appearance. So she's actually not going to Africa with the ladies, which is not surprising to me. And like I said, I think that's for the best because I don't trust Zeus actually going out of the country or the continent with her. I'm glad that she was smart enough to say, no, I'm going to stay in the U.S. with them. I'm going to go to ATL. I'm going to handle some of my business, even if I can't get to handle all of my business because she only going to be there for a day or two. She handled some of her business. You know, she didn't get Biggie, she didn't get Tommy, she didn't get Rolly. But you dealt with Ahna and you dealt with Ivori, even though I don't agree with the way you dealt with Ivori. But I saw a lot of people saying like, oh, why didn't she stay longer? Why didn't she go to Africa? She's scary, this, that, and the third. At the end of the day, not really, because the last 2 seasons that Tommy's been a special guest, she hasn't been there for more than an episode. When she came for Midwest, she came for 1 episode and was at the beginning of the next episode. And all she did was show up and pop the girls. And on last season on Caribbean, she was only there for 1 episode. When she came in on the horse, she had her fights with Natalie. And I think she had a sit down with Biggie and Tasiki and them. And then she left. So why y'all mad that now Stunna Girl is being treated on that same level as a celebrity guest or a special guest where she only got to do 1 or 2 episodes, make her appearance, shake the show up, do her big one, bring in the viewers like she's going to do, and dip. And she got paid more than some of these girls' whole season fee. Okay, so now the next situation we got to talk about is this whole DTB and Ivory versus Dolly thing, and Dolly still in chains. My bad, y'all. I'm trying to get these videos out. I forgot I didn't even have my light on for some of that part of the video, but y'all still could see me enough. So when Ivory got jumped by Stunna Girl, Diamond posted I stand with Ivori, and Ivory also posted if you F with DTB, be ready for me too. So it seems like those two are going to be a duo this season. So the way we found out that there was even a situation with Dolly and DTB was because Dolly came on social media with a black eye, looking crazy, talking about, oh, Natalie, you don't have to give me a baddie chain because I took DTBs. Now, mind you, that's embarrassing because you still haven't gotten a baddie chain. And most of the newbies, if not all of the newbies who came back, did get one. But she also made it sound like she snatched the chain while her and DTB were fighting.
You don't have to give me my baddie chain. I took DTBs. Pretty hard by the beach. A black ass like a scratch, but I was right.
Like, Dolly, this is a complete mess, for real. A complete mess. Like, you look a mess. Sad Dolly. And here's the day 1, day 2, and day 3 progression of her black eye. It doesn't look like it's getting much better. DTB ends up coming out and saying, no, girl, I still have my chain right here. You didn't snatch anybody's chain. You went in a purse and took somebody's chain and you thought it was mine, but it was really Pretty P's.
So, bitches is on the internet thinking they got my chain. Bitch, you got to know I'm smarter than that. Come on, babe. Come on, babe. You got to know I'm smarter than that. But no tea, no shade. Can you see? This is on here looking like motherfucking Patchy the Pirate, bitch. Like, oh, can you see? Bitch, you stole the wrong fucking chain, bitch. You can't even see. Your eyes so closed, bitch. You don't even know who chain you took. But I can't even give away like what really happened, but bitch, you didn't take nobody's chain. Bitch, you stole a chain. Realistically, you're a bum ass bitch. You went in a bitch purse and stole a chain.
Pretty P said, on my kids, I'm beating you bees up. Y'all went in the wrong purse. That's my stuff, not diamonds. And y'all will be handled ASAP. You bees have 0 seconds. I'm on that. Y'all got the right B. So then Dolly was like, oh, my bad. It was P chain. And she thought it was funny, laughing. Like, girl, you look stupid and you look like a bum. Paula said, I promise I'm pounding you bees heads in out y'all sleep. Paula said, you bums are not baddies. Y'all are thieves and bums. Went in my purse thinking it's the next person. I don't care about the baddies chain because I have that back because y'all know Natalie got a bunch of baddies chains. So she could give them a replacement. But Pretty P was like, I need my Rolex watch that I paid for before baddies and my money that was taken out of my purse or it's going to be real problems. Y'all won't be making it to Africa and this is a promise. So this is what I'm saying. Dolly is really a bum. Not only did you go in the purse thinking it was diamonds still in the chain, acting like you snatched it and like you did some tough shit when you really did some bum shit, but you also was going taking watches and money that you thought was diamonds. Like, girl, you're corny for robbing somebody. That's not no cool points. But anyway, Dolly came online and said that she gave Pretty P her chain back.
They said Dolly give Pretty P her chain back. I already gave her her chain back. Stupid. Don't believe everything you see on the internet.
I'm assuming that means you gave her her watch and her money back as well. And here we have a picture of Big T-Rex, Bummer, and Sad Dolly with our favorite Zeus bodyguard, Ant. So Ivori said that Dolly was light work. I do feel like out of DTB and Ivori, Ivori is the one who gave Bad Dolly the eye. And it basically was said that that was the case later on. Like when Ivori and Diamond went live, Ivori said me and Dolly went eye for an eye. Because Ivori did have like a little black eye, but it was nothing compared to what Dolly had. So Ivori is the one who gave her the black eye.
Bitch, we in this together, bitch. Me and Diamond.
We locked in. What piece he
I
said?
don't like I
We
like
locked
I
in.
too. I do.
If we
This eye.
locked in, ain't no switching up. Don't care.
I like, so you understand? Every bitch is gonna walk out with not a black eye. It's something. It's expected, you know. Especially when you're fighting for a long time, it's expected. But I'm not even gonna get up here and say I beat the fuck out of her or nothing like that, because, bitch, we went round for
You
round.
did, though.
I won. I came out on top. But the thing is, though, she got my eye, just like I got hers, bitch. You know, I give a bitch props for it's due.
Ivory said it's the best season already. We in the field. Welcome the baddies. Everybody whooping everybody and robbing everybody. Dolly said when it airs, y'all gonna see y'all fave get dusted. I'm fighting all the heavy hitters and I'm taking names. Cause she thinks she the new eater, but you walking around with a black eye. Like a big, outrageous black eye. We ain't never seen Tasiki look like that. Ivory said my eye black too though. LMFAO, as always, we went eye for eye. You know who to play with, and I bet you won't run up no more, Miss Tap Out. So she basically saying she had Dolly tapping out. Like Dolly was tapping out like in a wrestling match saying, I don't want to fight no more. I don't want to fight no more. Y'all gotta break it up. Which is believable. Cause Dolly, you always out of breath. You always going to the hospital. You be fainting. You be having seizures. You be passing out. Like, girl. But you always want to fight though. Sad Dolly. Fragile Dolly. Dolly said, yeah, B, you got me effed up. I smoke hella cigarettes, ho. Why I'ma keep running up on a hoe I beat up twice? So she basically just admitted what I said. She smoked hella cigarettes and she be out of breath. Ivory said, thing is, y'all teamed up every time I'll win because it was me versus y'all. So that sound like Summer and Lex probably was jumping in, helping Dolly. Not surprising. Ivory said, I blended you, had them picking you up off the floor. I closed immediately. Okay, so that was part 2 of my Baddies Africa tea recap, catch up. So I'll be back with part 3. I'll try to be getting them out tomorrow because there's no Baddies episode tonight. So I don't have to worry about reviewing another episode of Midwest. I think the trailers will be dropping, but I'll get to doing my trailer reviews later in the week. I want to get all of this Baddies Africa tea out of the way. So 2 more videos to catch up on all the tea. Like I said, I got a real busy schedule now, so y'all just got to work with me, but I'm going to catch up. And I think the Baddies Going Wild teaser or trailer has dropped, so y'all could go check that out. Like I said, I will review that along with the Baddies Midwest reunion trailer and talk about all the reunion tea sometime this week. And that's it. If you're watching me on TikTok, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. And if you're watching me on YouTube, make sure you follow me on TikTok. I'll see y'all later. Bye.